Hello everyone and welcome to Whisky Wars, and welcome to a very excited Ash, because this is a whisky that I've wanted for years now and I'm really happy I bought it. To be honest, don't go waiting for a sale like I did, because they never happen on this whisky, and actually it never actually happened on this whisky. I just picked it up because it was 10% off every bottle over the weekend at a certain website. So I picked it up and I actually got it for, I think it was listed at 46 or 48 and I got 10% off. So let's just call it £43. Really happy for that. It is a Campbelltown whisky. It is by Springbank. It is the Longrow heavily peated. And this is bottled at 46% ABV. It's double distilled and I could not be happier to try this. Now usually I know I have to try and stay objective in my reviews, but I am quite passionate about whiskey, and when it is a whiskey that I've wanted for a long time, I'll try my best to remain honest. In fact, I don't know whether this will have come out before the one that I've just recorded, but there was another whiskey that I really wanted and it wasn't as good, and I was honest about that. So I will always be honest. So I like to think that I don't let my perception or want for a whiskey to be good to influence things. But here we go. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Now, this is a young whiskey. They don't mention the age, but I believe it could be anything from I think it's 3 to 4 years, if I'm being honest. Just like the last whiskey I reviewed, which, well, I won't say the name of it, but it's another heavily peated whiskey. Longrow on the nose. Citrusy, but sweet, but it's like a cushiony sweet. It's marshmallow. Marshmallows, citrus, peat on the nose. And the marshmallows, not only does it give a little bit of a sweetness, but it gives a little bit of a creaminess to the nose. It's not sharp, it doesn't come across sharp, which for a young whiskey is pretty, I like that a lot. But that citrus does cut through it and adds a rugged touch to it. It's quite nice. It's a little bit oily on the nose. I can't say it's complex. I just got something else there though. Apples, oil, lemon, marshmallows, peat. Yeah, that's nice. I would say the marshmallows is stronger than the apples though. If you think peat, marshmallows, lemon, probably the 3 strongest ones, and then apples, and it is oily as well. A little bit grassy, maybe, on the nose. I like that sweet touch to it though. It's like there's a dusty sweetness. Sandalwood. It's not spicy, but it does add this creamy dustiness. But I get vanilla, a creaminess. And the vanilla adds to that. It adds to the sweetness, but so does the marshmallow and this sandalwood. A little bit of a wood dustiness, but it's not spicy. It comes across more creamy, so sandalwood. And then the sweetness develops a little bit. That dustiness remains. And it for me, it comes across a bit more like a cinnamon. So cinnamon, vanilla, marshmallows, lemon, apples. I don't know if I spoke about the apples, but there's definitely some apple tartness coming through that's balanced out with that little bit of sweetness. When I talk about the sweetness, guys, I'm talking purely based on what Springbank is. This is not going to be a sweet whiskey. It still has that oiliness, that thick, just viscous, developed oiliness that brings a funk to it, and a little bit of a bitterness, but it's balanced with that sweetness. Lemons and apples provide a little bit of a tartness, a sharpness, a lift though. So it's got a really nice balance to it. What I would say is it doesn't come across too salty. There's just a faint little bit of salt here, a little bit of sea salt. Not much at all. It's more sweet than salty. It's more citrusy and sharp than salty. It's more peaty. as well. Oh, this is really, really nice on the nose. It started off just with a few notes and I was like, okay, if it doesn't develop, I'm still happy because I like what I'm getting. But I'm now getting more notes, as you can tell. Okay, on to the taste. Here we go. Oh, just before we do, guys, if you'd be so kind to click the like button and that subscribe button, that'd be much, much appreciated. I think we're on 1,400 subscribers at the minute, so that's pretty cool. It's growing. It's getting up there. Thank you. What surprises me so much with the taste was how that sweetness carries through. I've never had that on a Springbank before. Marshmallow sweetness. I don't get it on too many whiskies. And it's here in abundance and I'm really liking it. This pillowy, soft, creamy sweetness. Vanilla, but that perfumey marshmallow sweetness. A little bit of spice coming through now, a little bit of pepper with it. Those apples have a little bit of a tartness through. The lemon's not too strong. And it just has a lot of different notes. Yeah, it's not potency in this big explosion of flavour. But it's very well rounded, but in a comfort blanket. And I say comfort blanket, please don't misguide that as this is a safe buy. It's a Campbelltown whiskey at the end of the day, and it's a Springbank at the end of the day, and it has that viscous oil funk, a little bit of bitterness, peat. I mean, it's still heavily peated. As the whiskey's been open for, I say open, I mean sitting in the glass, as this review's been going on, it's been getting more and more bitter. It started off more sweet, and now it's getting more bitter. And I was thinking, it's not just bitter wood, there's something there. And now, because it's getting stronger and stronger, I'm just becoming, yes, okay, I know what that is. And that's medicinal notes. And if any of you guys know or watch the channel frequently, you'll know that I love medicinal notes. I just absolutely love it. Adds that TCP, I would say more, maybe you could say rubbing plasters, that sort of smell. But yeah, love that. Absolutely love that. In fact, if there's one note that I get a lot in medicinal notes is that menthol, and it's not my favourite, and it can ruin a whiskey if it's too strong. That's not here. So yeah, really good. I'm I can't say blown away on the NeckPour, but extremely, extremely happy. And maybe you can tell on camera. A really cool whiskey. This is great stuff. And a word of caution here, guys. I don't want to oversell the whiskey by any means at all. Partly because I want to buy another bottle. No, I'm joking. I don't want to oversell the bottling because this whiskey, I feel like, is hitting all my flavour preferences. And that's what's really exciting to me. It could become one of my favourites. That doesn't mean that it's an all-time great whiskey or a whiskey that's amazing for everyone and everyone's going to like it. Whiskey is a subjective thing, so I do want to just mention that so you err on the side of caution, because I am getting the impression that I'm overselling this whiskey quite heavily. As always, guys, all my whiskies are completely not sponsored at all. The only money I receive is from a few generous viewers, which I really appreciate. It helps me out a lot with buying whiskey. And YouTube through ad revenue. I could do a video on that if you guys would want. Let me know in the comments down below. Full transparency and honesty as always. Why not? I really don't mind telling you guys what I get from that. I've never been given a bottle to review. So different to what I was expecting. Okay, I knew it was going to be oily. I knew it was going to be peaty. And I knew I was... And hoping I was going to get something reminiscent of what I've had from my other Springbanks. This is Longrow, okay, but it's from the same distillery. Yeah, I'm impressed. It's sweeter than I thought, but in a very unique way. I've not had too much of that style of sweetness in my whiskies from from my collection, if you've seen my collection video. That creamy wood is just adding a bitter touch to the whiskey, and I love that. The wood is getting a bit more pronounced now, but it never gets spicy. And if you know me, I don't like too much spice in a whiskey. If it comes to too much of a wood spice, it's good. It's oily, it's bitter, it's sweet. I wouldn't really call it salty actually, guys. There might be a savoury touch, tinge, but it's not pronounced enough to talk about. Okay guys, I'm going to leave it like this. But I haven't felt this happy since a NeckPour, since my Arran 10, and I love that whiskey. Obviously, it's the NeckPour. Most whiskies, I would say at least 90% of the whiskies since I've been doing the NeckPour have improved since that. I've had a couple that haven't. I might do a video on that because that's weird, but it's true. So there's a good chance this is going to just develop and get better, which sign me up for that. Longrow from the Springbank distillery. I've wanted it for years. I should have bought it sooner, if I'm being honest. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the NeckPour. A really, really fun one to film, and I hope to see you all for the next Whisky one.